Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. Today we have something special. This is the thinnest smartphone Apple has ever made, the new iPhone Air. Pulling it out of the box, the first thing you notice is the weight. It feels incredibly light in the hand. The design is slim, elegant, and polished. The frame is made from titanium, and it is thinner than anything Apple has produced before. Titanium has always been one of my favorite materials. It's strong, light, and premium. Apple has moved away from titanium in most of the iPhone 17 lineup, but the Air still carries it. And what's really cool is the detail. The polished edges look just like the very first iPhone that came out 17 years ago. A small touch, but meaningful. Now let's talk about how thin it actually is. The iPhone Air is as thin as one Oreo wafer, or 3 wooden toothpicks stacked together. It's half the size of a Lego brick. It's also the same size as 3 US quarters or 7 razor blades from a utility knife. If you need one more quirky comparison, think of it as 1/4 of an ice cream lid. For the rest of the world, it measures just 5.6 millimeters. That is incredibly thin for a modern smartphone. But this design also raises a concern. The buttons cut into the titanium wall and take away some of its strength. Anyone who has played Jenga knows that if you remove too much of a structure, it will eventually fail. So the question is, will this phone be able to hold up in daily use? We start with the scratch test. Apple says its new Ceramic Shield 2 is 3 times more scratch resistant. Plastic scratches at a level 2 or 3. Glass scratches around 5 or 6. Sapphire usually scratches at 8 or 9. On the iPhone Air, the level 6 marks are almost invisible. Even at level 7, scratches are minimal. That is a major improvement. Normally, I would say Apple ruined it, but this year they didn't. The Ceramic Shield 2 from Corning is a big step forward. Still, glass is glass. It will never be indestructible. That's why I recommend protecting it with a good screen protector. I picked up a prism protector from DBR at Best Buy, and it fits perfectly. Swipe, place, and peel. Simple and precise every time. Apple also added an anti-reflective coating to the display. It does reduce reflections, but it's not as good as Samsung's technology. On my Galaxy S24 Ultra, I can see the fine reflections from LED lights. On the iPhone Air, it's just a blur. Apple still has room to improve here. The display itself, though, is excellent. It's a 6.1-inch OLED panel with up to 2000 nits of peak brightness outdoors. It supports HDR10 and Dolby Vision, making videos look crisp and vibrant. The refresh rate is 120 Hz, and animations are smooth. Scrolling feels fluid, and the touch response is instant. The bezels are also slimmer, giving the screen a modern and clean look. The front-facing camera is 18 megapixels, and it sits behind the Ceramic Shield 2. Apple redesigned the sensor into a square shape, which is supposed to capture more light. Selfies look sharp, with better detail in low light than before. Face ID is still one of the fastest and most secure systems out there. Now back to titanium. Titanium is strong, light, and biocompatible. It's used in medical implants and artificial joints. Even when humans are cremated, titanium remains. Apple says the iPhone Air uses 80% recycled titanium. That's impressive for both durability and sustainability. The titanium frame can still scratch, but it is harder than aluminum. The buttons are not removable. At the bottom, we find a charging port slightly off-center with 4 small holes. These appear to be microphone holes, as the iPhone Air only has one mono speaker at the top. There's no bottom stereo speaker. Audio is decent, but it doesn't compare to the Pro models with dual speakers. Charging is also slower. The smaller battery takes 30 minutes to reach 50%. The Pro models can do that in 20 minutes. If charging speed is important to you, the Air falls behind. Battery life itself is okay, but not great. The thin design means a smaller cell, so heavy users will need to charge more often. Expect around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, which is fine for light use, but not the best for gamers or travelers. On the back, the iPhone Air has etched glass with a shiny Apple logo in the center. Looking closely, the logo sits slightly above the etched surface. It's a minor flaw, but not a big deal. The rear camera is a sing. Le 48 megapixel lens. Apple says it can act like two cameras, switching between wide and standard. But it still lacks the dedicated ultra-wide and telephoto lenses from the Pro models. Pictures are sharp, with Apple's signature color science and smart HDR6 processing. Low-light photos are better this year, with less noise and more detail. Portrait mode looks clean, and the video quality is still industry-leading. The iPhone Air records in 4K at 60 frames per second with Dolby Vision HDR. Stabilization is smooth, and audio pickup is clear thanks to the IP68 protected rear microphone. The flash is a simple single LED, good enough for casual shots, but not as advanced as the multi-tone flash on Pro models. Still, the Air's camera system will satisfy most people who want a reliable shooter for everyday use. Performance is where Apple always shines. The iPhone Air runs on the new A19 Bionic chip. It's built on a 3-nanometer process, making it both powerful and efficient. Apps open instantly. Multitasking is smooth. Games run at the highest settings without stutter. Benchmarks put above most Android phones on the market. Even with the smaller body, thermal management is solid, and the phone doesn't overheat quickly. The software experience is pure iOS 19. Apple continues to refine its system with small but meaningful updates. Widgets are more interactive. Siri is smarter with on-device AI processing. Battery health features are better, giving you more control over charging. And with Apple's ecosystem, everything connects. AirPods pair instantly. The Apple Watch unlocks your phone, and AirDrop works seamlessly. Connectivity is also future-proof. The iPhone Air supports 5G, Wi-Fi 7, and Bluetooth 6. The new U2 Ultra Wideband chip improves device tracking in crowded areas, making AirTags even more precise. Emergency SOS via satellite is included, and now it supports messaging, not just location sharing. That could be life-saving. Now let's return to durability. During the burn test, flames didn't damage the oleophobic coating. In the bend test, the titanium frame held strong. From the back, nothing happened. From the front, the phone bent slightly, but snapped back into shape. Titanium's elasticity worked. To push it further, we measured the breaking point with a crane scale. At 216 pounds of direct force on the center, the screen finally shattered. The back glass survived. The phone's structure held until that extreme weight. In real life, sitting on the phone won't break it. Your pocket will give up first. Drops, of course, are a different story. Glass is still glass. That's where accessories help. I picked up the brand's Ghost case. It's thin, guaranteed not to yellow, and if it ever does, they replace it for free. It also works with Apple's MagSafe accessories. When bundled with the Prism Screen Protector, you get a nice discount too. The iPhone Air may not have all the features of the Pro models, but it has its own charm. It is the thinnest iPhone ever, surprisingly durable, and still very powerful. It's a blend of nostalgia and modern design, with polished edges reminding us of the original iPhone. Yes, the smaller battery, slower charging, and single camera are compromises. But the Air isn't designed for power users. It's designed for people who want style, portability, and simplicity in one package. It slips easily into your pocket, feels almost weightless in your hand, and still delivers Apple's top-tier performance and software. So if you want a phone that's light, thin, strong, and different from the rest of the lineup, the iPhone Air might be the one. For more videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you don't miss the latest updates from Spec Hunter.